Alright, so Ivy, I want you to start. Why do you have a channel? Tell us about your channel.
I really don't, though.
Tell us all about your channel and all the wonderful things you have to offer in it.
We'll be starting with Ivy.
I don't have a channel yet, just because I kind of would like to get a actual computer first.
Alright, who's next?
Do you want to go?
Bottle. I mean, sure. Alright, so when I was a wee lad, I kinda didn't have the best conditions. I mean, I had a house, it was cool. Not everybody does. But, I, didn't have the best, family. And, I don't want to bum you out, so I'm just gonna say there's a lot of abuse in my early life. Okay, so, like, in my teenage years, when I'd come home from school, you know, after having a inevitably shitty day, I'd walk home, I'd turn on Comedy Central, and, you know, like, I'd be, like, terribly sad, so I'd turn on Comedy Central, and I'd watch, like, Comedy Central Presents, so all these, like, random comedians that I wouldn't have known otherwise, and they just made me laugh, no matter, like, how stupid the joke was. But then, I started, you know, when I laughed at those jokes, I had one of those little eureka moments. I'm like, oh my god, I completely forgot about my shitty day, let alone my shitty life, like, within that, like, 7 seconds of just pure laughter. So what I did from there was, like, I started watching, like, all these different comedians, all the Lewis Blacks, all the George Carlins, all those, and I started, like, analyzing, like, how they'd construct jokes and how they'd, you know, deliver them. And what I'd do is I'd just, like, sit down in, like, a dark room from day to day, just writing down, like, stupid little jokes that I'd take from these guys, kind of. Like, I wouldn't write down the whole joke. I'd kind of, like, reconstruct something they did. And then I'd just, like, tell it to my friends at an Xbox Live party or something. And they'd laugh, and I'd be like, oh, hey, this is pretty cool. And then that made them forget about their shitty days and their shitty lives. And I'm like, I started running out of comedians. So one day I walked in on my brother watching, who is it? It was like Tobuscus, you know him?
Yeah.
Toby Games.
Yeah.
And I thought he was actually kind of funny at the time. He is pretty funny, like clean funny. And I started like getting into the YouTubes, all the Tobuscuses, and then all the PewDiePies, and all the Spoons and Creatures and all that. And I'm like, I could do that. I could definitely, like, just record gameplay and make jokes, but the thing is, it's a lot harder than it seems.
Oh yeah, much harder.
It's just a conversation with yourself while gameplay footage is going on, and that makes it difficult because I don't know what to talk to myself about. And so you just kind of get that, like, awkward, like, that's what a conversation is. It's passing a ball to each other, basically, like, figuratively. You're just passing a ball back and forth, and then one thing leads to another. But when you're playing catch with yourself, you're gonna drop the ball. And so that's kind of why I'm on Twitch now doing this short bus show, where there's 4 people, but usually it's 2. But there's 4 people, like, all, like, having a conversation, all saying, and the great thing is, I'm having a conversation with people as stupid, as convoluted as I am, so that's really nice. So that's my format.
Terrence, how do you plan to top that?
I don't know if I can. I mean, my story's kind of similar, though. Like,
I completely forgot. I was talking that entire time. Alright, Mouth. It's time to be quiet. Terrence's turn.
Yeah, well, my story is kind of similar. Like, you know, just to quick summarize, you know, you did not the greatest life. Things could have been better, but I guess they could have been worse, too. And, I think it was around the time I was like 14, 13, 14, somewhere in there. One of my friends had come over and he's like, "Oh, have you like heard of this guy?" And he goes on YouTube and searches up PewDiePie, and it was one of his like horror game compilations of him just like getting jump scared, and I thought it was the funniest thing I had ever seen in my life. And it's like from there I ended up discovering Uber Haxer Nova, who I still watch to this day. I think he's still probably one of my favorite YouTubers. He's hysterical. I love him. I don't know, there was just like one day where I decided, you know what, I wanna do something like this. Like, it couldn't be that hard. Like, why not? I need a hobby anyway. Yeah, oh yeah, I learned very quickly, and I left all my absolute garbage content on my channel just so that way I can go back to it sometimes and remember just how pointless life can be sometimes. But
Man, I remember when I used to record in 240p.
oh, it was awful, dude. I bought a camera from Walmart and I recorded myself running around my school being an idiot.
That's how it starts.
Like, it was so bad. It was so bad. Except people have told me that's like their favorite video, but it's like the audio desynced in it and everything, so I'd never used an editing software before. So it's like it was so bad, and like I don't know. I was really happy with it though. Like it was fun for me to make. So I just kept making more videos because like I had fun making them. I didn't really care if a lot of people watched them. I just had fun doing them. And it's kind of like where I went from there, because I know I enjoyed watching videos because they helped me take time away from my life and make me forget about the things that were going wrong in my life. So I figured if I could do some of that for somebody else, like just kind of give them something else in their day that isn't just everything else that goes on, then why not? Because I've always liked helping people. So that's kind of how I started mine. Except then, yeah, as you learn that I have a very cynical sense of humor, and I tried to be very like politically correct because I didn't want to offend people. So my cynical sense of humor was very suppressed because that's just the way I am. Like, I wouldn't make half the kind of remarks I would now. Like, Honey Pop would have never been a thing back then at all. After a while I kind of gave up on that. I was like, there's no point. Like, the content's garbage, plain and simple. Like, when you repress yourself, you don't know what to do. So you're like trying to make jokes that aren't jokes because you can't make a joke without offending somebody. And I think that's part of what makes a joke funny. Is part you sit there like, I can't believe they just said that. Like, to me that's part of what makes it funny. Like, I love all the 9/11 jokes. They're horrible, but they're so funny.
I think they're just plain terrible.
Yeah, that's kind of.
Hey, my brother was in 9/11. He was the best pilot I ever knew.
But yeah, that's kind of how I started. It's just kind of gone from there. Honey Pop was the big turning point on my channel. It's kind of where like I stopped trying to hide my sense of humor and everything else, and it became a lot more fun than it was. My content became better, I think. Anyway, I hope. I mean, I still can't watch my own videos because I cringe every time I do. But I don't know, I have a few people who seem to have a pretty close following on them, so can't be that bad.
Right. I feel it kind of like part of like the reasoning is like why it's like so hard to like struggle with what you can say, like, or what to say in like gameplay video or a let's play or whatever, is like comedians have that live audience. They instantly see a reaction and they're more like in touch with their audience. They actually get to see the expression on their faces and stuff. They get to hear what they have to say and all of that. That's like, I don't like that format. I don't like just having to wait like a week or two for anybody to just watch this and just like they're not gonna have like any like criticisms or anything really valuable to say. They're just gonna like just spell faggot and then leave. And that's gonna be that. And that's one of the reasons I like Twitch more. Well, you at least see people type, and they at least say something. You can choose to ignore them, or you can choose to like respond, and you can actually have conversations with them as well as the person you're working with.
You know, I definitely like recording more with people. That's actually why I started the Heroes Play thing. Is because Game Grumps was like, I saw how they had the chemistry between two people, and I realized I was missing that in a lot of my stuff because I do work better talking with another person.
Exactly, and have you recently said Aaron has actually tried like doing one by himself, and you can see the mood changes immediately. When
Yeah.
It's just, hey, I'm Grump, and then nothing. It's just, hey, I'm Grump, and it's the saddest thing ever. It's like, where's Dan? What, Dan? Speaking of, you mentioned Uber Hacks, no Couch Hop.
Cow Chop, yep. Cow Chop is by far one of my favorite channels.
I was
Still.
about to say, if you don't know Couch Hop,
Oh no, I know Cow Chop. I've been a Cow Chop since the beginning. Actually, because of that, me and one of my gym buddies are gonna start a channel that I'm basing heavily. Like, I'm gonna use the same kind of format they use, where it's like very politically incorrect and they don't really care. Like, it's gonna be a no bars hold at all. Like, I don't care if it gets big or not. We're gonna have a lot of fun doing it, but we're gonna call it Gains and Games, because obviously, like, we both go to the gym. We spend half our time there. Like, I want to incorporate it because that's our humor. And it's also something I don't think's really been done before. I haven't really seen like a gym and gaming channel before. It's usually
that's actually another topic. Why are you such a gym rat?
that's kind of a journey. That started because like I've always kind of been into fitness ever since like 7th grade, because I was bullied out of my elementary way back in 4th grade, so I spent 5th and 6th grade on an online school. But because I was too depressed from being bullied out of my previous school, I didn't do anything but sit on my couch and eat chips and watch TV all day.
Just unmotivated, didn't touch your books.
Yeah, so I got so fat. Like, I was completely round. I wish I had a better picture to kind of show it, but I don't. I have like one picture that I can kind of see, and my brother poked the eyes out on it, so it looks kind of weird now. It looks like something out of a horror movie. But so after that, I ended up going to a legitimate junior high, and I was so like, because I'd spent 2 years online, I'd become so socially awkward that it's like I was so scared of everybody judging me and like all this other stuff that I was like, I wanna like lose this weight. So I asked my mom to buy me like something. I think I had asked for like a weight loss pill or something originally. I don't remember anymore, but Christmas rolled around and I had got a barbell, so I just did a bunch of curls and stuff with that, and I started doing push-ups and stuff, and I thought I was really tough actually, because I started seeing some changes. Then I joined my wrestling team and lost a ton of weight. That was awesome. And then since then, I've had this like subconscious fear of letting myself get fat again that I just haven't ever stopped. Because then after high school, I ended up going to the gym. Like, one of my friends who was huge into the gym started taking me with them. And I just kind of wanted to tone up. Like, that's all I really wanted. I wanted to tone up, you know, maybe put on a little bit of muscle, nothing serious. But then I saw how big he was getting and people around me at the gym were getting, and I wanted to get a little bigger. So it's like I would reach a goal, but then I wanted to get bigger. And it's like, before I knew it, I was going down a checklist. And I was like, I can't really say I'm not a bodybuilder anymore, because it's like I've filled out the checklist of everything that's required for a bodybuilder. Like, it's just like, I find gym humor hilarious now. Like, Bro Science, I don't know if you've ever seen Bro Science, but he is so funny. If you spend any time at the gym at all or know about gym culture, just watch any video by him. He plays this character called Dom Mazzetti, who's a stereotypical like gym douche, and frick is he funny.
Yeah, guy in the freaking wife beater, like washboard abs and pecs and
yeah, basically
biceps,
and
stupid buzz cut.
Like, yeah, basically. Like,
wow, did I get it to a T?
Almost, except a tank, not a wife beater. But yeah, he's hilarious. But yeah, so like, I just ended up getting addicted to it. It was just like, it became a passion almost, because I couldn't stop. I had to keep going, and I wanted to learn more about it. I wanted to learn how to like further better myself, and it ended up like, at first, you know, you start working out because you want to be more attractive to the opposite, like to whatever gender you're attracted to. So you want them to find you attractive, but it gets to a point where like you don't care anymore. Like, they can find you attractive, whatever. You just care about reaching that next goal you've set. And I don't know, you just keep going. There's really no end to it.
It's actually like really funny how like similar we are actually, because like you were homeschooled like online school, 5th
Yeah.
and 6th grade. I actually like quit halfway through 6th grade to be homeschooled, and like I guess I found comedy and you found like working out, and like I was kind of like heavy too. I had like 3rd grade little boy titties. Like I'm like, well, I just like eat better, I guess, and then I'll just like work on comedy, I suppose. And then you're like, I want to be big.
Yeah, like
I
it
want
didn't
want to
start that I
hustle
wanted to be big and buff. I just kind of wanted to be toned. But then it's like, the more I would go, the more I wanted to get bigger. And it's like, yeah, that's all that really, you center your life around it. I know more about gym routines than I do most other things.
So like, what exactly is like motivation to work out? Like, why do you want it? Is just to like undo your past, or like?
Honestly, it's hard to say really what the main motivation is now. You just want to get bigger. Like, you've seen how big other people can get, and you've seen how big you've gotten, and you just keep wanting to get bigger. Like, that's all there is to it. You keep wanting to see yourself get bigger. You want to be the biggest dude in the room at all times. You want to be able to lift really heavy weights, because even though there's not a lot of points in life where you can lift really heavy weights, it still does come in handy a lot. Like at work,
it's still very impressive, and like, yeah, and like there are like jobs and stuff where heavy lifting is like needed, but like I have that same motivation kind of. It's obviously not like as much as yours, because like sometimes I just like struggle to like get out of bed, and I'm just I just want to watch TV.
Oh, I'm the same way. It goes there.
The thing was when I was a kid, I was a huge wrestling fan, because my cousin was a professional wrestler, and he and my brother would always like watch him and like tell me that I should watch him, and I eventually became a fan. And I started like seeing all these big muscly dudes and like watching them like talk shit and just like absolutely dominate in a match. It like made me like want to go work out, and like, oh, I want to be just like Eddie Guerrero or Kurt Angle or like one of those guys, and I just want to like get into a ring and rip somebody's head off. I feel like that'd be like fun, and also like a good way to like legally vent your anger.
That could be a subconscious thing for me too, because it's like thinking back, like, did you ever watch the old CGI animated show that ended around 2001 called Reboot?
No, I've heard of it.
Well, there was a character in there who, he was only in around like the second half of the show, because there was a time skip that happened where one of the characters, his name was Enzo, he was like this little boy. They aged him up, and he ended up becoming this like huge, like ripped, tough guy. And like, I don't know, I guess like I always thought like it would be so cool to be that big. Like, looking back now, I think I actually am pretty close to his size, but like I always just thought it would be so cool to be like that kind of size. But I never figured, I'd be like, nah, that's like way too much work. I don't think I could ever do something like that. And it's like now I don't know. I had a lot of self-doubt, and then I realized that if I just push myself a little further, there's a lot you can do that you didn't think you could.
Ivy,
What?
tell me a story.
It's your turn, Ivy. We've been talking for like the last
Tell
10,
me something
15 minutes.
tear-jerking.
Tear jerking? Oh, I
Actually,
don't know if I can
don't
do
bum
that,
me
because
out.
then I'll cry.
Don't bum me out.
Because if I tell something tear jerking, it'll make me cry.
Alright, tell me a joke.
I'm not good at jokes.
Ivy, I was about to say something really mean and also full of self-hatred to myself, but I held it back.
But go for it.
I was gonna say, you should be really good with jokes. You're dating someone whose life is just nothing but a giant joke.